How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former Broward County Sheriff's Deputy Scot Peterson being brought up on charges as it relates to his inaction at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Remember this situation. You have Nicholas Cruz, this crazy killer, went into the school, went on a mass shooting rampage, 17 dead, 17 injured. Scot Peterson was the school's resource officer. He was outside taking cover, basically on a radio, but failing to actually go into the school. Now, he is an actual police officer. He was armed, and there was only one shooter. He did not go in. He now faces 11 charges, including 7 felony counts of child neglect, culpable negligence, and also perjury, because of the story that he told about the whole situation. I said from the very beginning that this guy should be held responsible. Some said that, he did the right thing. He didn't know what was really going on. No. Department policy says that you got to end a threat. And if you are hired to do a job, that's your job to go in there and end that threat. But he failed to do so. He was cowardly. What he really wanted to do was retire because he was getting up there in age and it was almost retirement time. He figured, okay, I ain't trying to die right now or get seriously injured. I'm about to go ahead and retire and be done with this whole situation. He did retire last year after the actual events happened, but he was fired today by the new head honcho after the other guy, what's his name, Scott Israel, got suspended by Ron DeSantis. He got fired today. Now, I'm not really sure how that works, how you get fired when you're retired, but I digress. Since he's been fired, that may affect his retirement pay. Either way it goes, whatever he's going to get disciplinary-wise, he most certainly deserves it. Now, he's facing up to about 96 years in the penitentiary. So his age, like 50, 60, he's pretty much done for life. And I say he deserves it. Ain't no question about it. Like I was saying, some people would say, oh, we shouldn't have gone in there because he didn't know what was going on. That's an excuse I'm not really trying to hear. The parents of the kids that are no longer here are not trying to hear that. Many of them have been very vocal about wanting Scot Peterson to go to the penitentiary. And it's a thing that should be asked for. You hired to do a job and you don't do it. Now, I can understand if you're just a regular civilian. I get it. You don't know what to do. You don't want to get shot, whatever it is. I would like for civilians to step up and be heroes, but I cannot demand that from civilians because you've not signed up to do the job. However, if you are being paid by the state, in this case, if I'm not mistaken, to do a job, to protect kids, you got to do that. Now, Scot Peterson is not the only guy that's responsible here, in my humble opinion. He's responsible for that particular situation, for not intervening, yes. But the guy that shot up the school had been known about by local authorities for a minute. This is why Scott Israel, the former chief of police, if I'm not mistaken, he was suspended by the new governor, Ron DeSantis, when he came into office earlier this year, like January 2019. There had been like 30 calls to go to the shooter's house before the shooting happened. But what was done to actually prevent this guy from going on a rampage? Where was the intervention? Where was the stopping? Where was the keeping an eye on this guy before he went off the edge and did what he did? See, South Florida, Broward County, Dade County has problems. You had the lady up there that was messing with the elections. I forget her name, but I'll put info about her in the box below. It's a lot of issues down there. And I think this incident, very unfortunate tragedy, I should say, really highlights the whole situation. So we're going to see what happens. Scot Peterson's lawyers are saying this is politically driven. It's not going to go anywhere. But it should. The charges seem to be a little late, but there was an investigation that lasted 15 months. So it wasn't just like, oh, okay, we're going to randomly charge him. No, as soon as the event happened, an investigation was launched. And here we are now with the findings that you have 11 charges, 7 felony child neglect, culpable negligence, and perjury. Oh, to get to the perjury thing, he said that the shooting was coming from the outside. And he directed traffic away from the situation. But in reality, he knew that it was going on the inside because the cameras caught him right by the school, basically trying to hide. Now, he was on the radio pretending he was doing something, but he wasn't doing anything. He was trying to hide away from the shooter. All he could see was dollar signs in his retirement. You know, he's going to leave Broward, maybe go down to the Keys or something like that and just live and chill rather than being permanently injured or dead in that situation. But if you want to be an officer, if you want to be any kind of public safety person, you have assumed risk, and you got to take that risk because that's your job to take it. And if you don't want to take it, then you got to step off. Don't even get into the uniform. Don't even apply, because you're going to put people in danger. If everybody had this guy's attitude, then what's the point in having the police? The police are a respected force in this country. And this guy, Scot Peterson, just, poo-poo over all of that. As I close, I want to say this. Hopefully these charges stick and he's able to go to jail for something. I'm not sure if he'll get convicted on all 11 counts. What the evidence is going to be for it, I think it's pretty clear. You have videotape. You have people that have been deceased now in a very high profile case. I think it's pretty much a wrap. But what say you? Do you think that Scot Peterson deserved to get 11 counts for not intervening in the school shooting and also lying about what happened, talking about, the fire was coming from the outside, even though he knew it was on the inside? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think I'm wrong here, that he shouldn't have been charged? Who knows what you're going to do when you face with that situation? He was trying to save his own life. He didn't know what was going on. He needed backup. I think he knew what was happening. He was just too afraid, too cowardly, and too greedy, too selfish to go in and intervene. He's thinking about dollar signs, retirement, all that, rather than his actual job, which was to protect the kids of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.